For the last year, you guys have been seeing us making videos inside of this garage. We bought this house literally almost 1 year ago, and since then we've done tons of work. You guys have seen us lay a new driveway. We've got a whole fence around the whole thing. We painted the garage. We've done tons of stuff inside, built shelves, hung cabinets.
Did a lot, buddy.
We've done a lot of cleaning up inside of this garage. We put a heater in there. But the one thing that we have had since even before I owned the house, but we haven't done yet, is epoxying the garage floors. Now I showed you guys the actual product that we were going to be using when we painted the garage, because we color matched the walls basically, which might sound a little funky, but we have a really cool idea to do some trim and stuff. You guys will see. Thing is, when you do this stuff yourself, or even if you pay someone, it's a long process to get it done. So we have been on the struggle bus trying to find time.
October's coming up, and if you don't have a certain temperature, you can't do them.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah,
it's either we do them now or you do them next summer.
Yeah,
those are your
so
options.
we basically wasted our whole summer away talking about doing them and not doing them. We're gonna treat ourselves this week. We're basically blocked off the whole week to get this done. We're doing an excessive amount of prep, but let me show you guys what we're working with and what's going on. One of the best things that's gonna come from doing the floors is we're actually gonna get to fix all the cracks and all like the little pits and holes in the floor, which I absolutely hate. I do know though that when I point it out to you guys, you'll notice way more. I don't know if you notice them in the videos regularly, but there's like little hairline coming up here. This is a big boy that basically goes side to side. Then there's like a little crack here. This one kind of comes across and goes all the way up. There's tons of like cracks that we gotta fix. There's also oil spills. You guys can see the floor is just not one color coming across. I'm gonna show you guys what we're working with, and then we need to get started because it's gonna take us literally forever to get this done. For this project, we're actually pairing with a Canadian company, which you guys know I absolutely love to do, and we're working hardcore with Rust-Oleum. So I showed you guys this when we did the walls. Gray garage floors with like the little flake kit, and this gray is actually almost a perfect color match to the walls. We're gonna separate it with a really cool trim, but we have tons of steps that need to happen before. First things first, we gotta get everything out. We gotta get the cars out. We gotta get the lift out. We gotta get literally everything out of this garage so that we can access every inch of this floor. Oh, that's not bad. It's definitely wet. A couple drill bits just chilling. Not bad though. Now is the fun part. I might do just a kiss of reorganizing while we're doing this. I'm thinking of moving some more stuff over here and leaving this bay just completely open. Maybe move those cabinets over there. I don't know for sure. I wanted to demo it while we had everything kind of out of the way. I feel like it would just open this bay up a little bit more. This guy is vacuuming my garage floors. He had a good point. It's a good way to get like all in like the little pits and grooves and cracks and stuff in the garage that sweeping doesn't get. It's not natural. Once you get everything out, they just have stains. Like not one spot on this floor is a solid color. It's terrible. Next up, we're gonna degrease the floors. We actually went out and we grabbed one of these like proper floor scrub brushes. This is gonna be the most intense clean I think this floor has ever actually gotten. And on the floors, we're gonna be using this crud cutter. So this is a cleaner slash degreaser. This is very similar, I guess if you don't know what this is, to like Spray 9 or something like that. But this one is non-toxic and good for the earth. So we're using this guy. We also degreased these guys, our little squeegees, which are gonna become probably heavily used once these floors are done, because we can literally squeegee messes away. Yep. Time to start making some real progress. Dude, it is the Crocs YouTube debut. Degreased the bottom of them, and from now on out, anytime I come in here, I'm putting on the Crocs, and anytime I leave, I'm swapping back into my shoes so that I don't bring stuff in and out of the garage. But check it out, it's actually been about just over 3 hours since we did all this, and it's mainly dry. There's a couple spots that are a little bit wet, a couple spots where I guess it kind of like dips. There's like a little bit of a weird spot here. Since we still had a little bit of daylight outside to work with, I'm gonna go right on to the oil grabber step, which is another crud cutter product actually. This was also the crud cutter cleaner and degreaser. This is an oil grabber. This is a stain remover, and essentially what you do is, right like it shows you right here, hopefully it works like this at least, you pour this on where there's an oil stain, you leave it for like 8 hours, and then it turns into dust, you sweep it up, and it's gone. I'm gonna say we start with this boy, because this is the most definite oil stain there is. This one wasn't even me. I actually have no idea if this is even oil, but it's definitely a big stain, and we're gonna put the oil stuff on it. We just kind of put this on where we have our stain here. That one was not so prominent. I just know I've spilled tons of oil there, but there's some weird ones going on over here. I'm just gonna start hitting things that look like they could be oil spills. Dude, look at this. You can actually see it like pulled stuff out of the concrete. A lot of this is just still white, but like where there was oil, but it's not wet anymore. If you look at it, it's kind of like grainy, like, look at that. It's just a dust. So that's kind of weird, but I do like how you can see that like I specifically knew there was an oil stain there and he yanked it out. Before we sweep up any of this, we're also gonna hit it with some rust stain remover, because this stuff, as far as we can tell, has no dry time. This looks like you pretty much put it down, wipe it off, and then you're done. So I say we do this before we soak the floors so that we can do kind of like a 2-for-1. A couple lines here, and then a huge amount of lines over here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this guy just had a plow like on his ATV that he put here, and then over here was just his metal dumping corner where he just completely ruined this corner. So is that a little pee-pee hole? Oh, that did something. All right, let's go. I'm just gonna soak all the areas, and then you can come through and scrub it. Another step done in the books. Kind of stained the floor. We actually went around again with the degreaser. We basically just degreased the whole floor again, and it still has this stuff. So I'm thinking this is basically just like a chemical stain, like it lightened the color, brought it. Honestly, this looks like fresh concrete. This is more the color of like a fresh pad. This is more the color of like a used pad. And of course, we let it dry for, I would say about 2 hours-ish. We're gonna go ahead now, we're gonna move on to the etching process, which is the first time we can open one of these boxes. So we actually got 4 of these guys. These are the ones we're gonna use. They're all the same. The gray with the flake, whatever you wanna call it. In here, we should have our next step. Oh, you guys can see the chips. Dude, this is gonna look so cool. Rust-Oleum gives you a fresh pad, which is cool. I actually bought a couple pads because I thought I was gonna need some. And then this is the actual floor mixture. I'm gonna leave that in there for now. And this is what we're after right now. This is the etching kit. Some people may call this like an acid. Basically, this stuff is gonna open the pores up on the floor extremely well and basically make it so that when we put the stuff on the floors, like the actual epoxy, it sinks into the pores. It's like an exfoliant, I guess, for your floor. Then the process for this one is actually like the most deadly process. Basically, you pour it on, scrub it in with the brush, rinse it off. Then you go over the whole thing 3 times. I'm just thinking that like it wants nothing left over. They want no residue, no etching left in the floor. So they make you literally triple check and scrub it again and again and again while rinsing it the whole time. Be thankful you're watching this and not doing it. Boom. DIY watering can. It doesn't work at all. You wanna give that a little test scrub? It's like fizzing, you can see it right there. It's like bubbling all around that stud. It looks like concrete. Like you didn't even know before that it didn't look like concrete.
Yeah, I think that for everyone watching, they at this point should be able to see like a wicked change.
Oh yeah. If I overlay like a beginning to now clip of the garage, it's definitely got a couple like, you know, stains and stuff from where the acid sat longer in some places than other places. The cracks are way more profound now because they're dark compared to the floors, how they got brighter. It's looking like concrete and it looks good. So we let this dry for, I don't know, a couple hours. We went and we filmed a completely different video. Now we're back to pound out the last step we're gonna get done today, which is the moisture stopper. So the moisture, where we live, we have a really big problem with temperature change. In the summer, it can be like 40 degrees with the humidity, and in the winter, it can be literally minus 30 degrees Celsius because we're in Canada. So there's hella change always. The temperature is not consistent at all, especially now like in the fall. So honestly, moisture coming through here is inevitable. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a moisture barrier down. It sinks into the concrete and creates like a vapor barrier essentially, so that the moisture doesn't come through the concrete and push the epoxy off the floor. Not everybody needs this, but we're gonna use this Rocksolid moisture stop. This stuff, you gotta put it down, and then it says you gotta leave it for 45 minutes.
And slosh it around.
Wet. So we gotta pour it down, and then we can't let it dry. We gotta keep it moving so it doesn't dry. Then after 45 minutes, whoosh, we can take it out. So this is gonna be just
We're
a
gonna
really...
have like a slosh slash like dance party in here.
Yeah, exactly. Now we just work it, don't let it dry. It's our only goal. Day 4 of this process. Yesterday we came in here to do the cracks and the cracks weren't dry. So the cracks have been drying now for 48 hours, almost.
Yeah, 2 days.
Two full days. It's late in the day. It's literally 5:23. The Civic just blew up at the dyno and we're back home to finish doing some shit. So it's been over 48 hours probably. The cracks are dry. So the very last thing that we gotta do before we epoxy is fix the cracks. And it's a 2-part epoxy. It says it is stronger than concrete. Basically, it won't crack. If the crack continues to spread over the years, it might separate from that stuff, I'm sure. But it's gonna fill all the cracks for now. A lot of times people epoxy their floors to hide cracks actually. They just epoxy right over it, they throw chips and you will never see them unless you're right above them. Which honestly we could do, none of our cracks are really that bad. They're just little boys. But we're still gonna go ahead and fill everything, make sure the floor is 100% dialed in. Dude, you know what this is? This is concrete Bondo. That's all this is. This is literally concrete Bondo.
I honestly, dude, I'm so sorry that I have no idea how we're mixing them. I can't promise you the ratios are gonna be like what it specifies.
The colors are even the same. Oh, we're mixing concrete Bondo, baby. This is 100% not how you mix it. I've been using 120 grit discs. They suck. I'm not doing any good. So I just ran out and I got some 60 grit and some 80 grit. Hopefully that will take a little bit more off. The issue is the concrete is wearing out the pads really quickly and then they don't do anything. Plus 120 seems to not be putting up a very good fight. You guys saw my progression over there. It was depressing. Hopefully we can speed things up over here with a little more of an aggressive pad.
I tried hand sanding some stuff. I got rid of some like whatever chunky spots. just to, you know, try and like take down some time for him. But man, he was at it literally like probably for 2 hours before I got here. So he's been at sanding for 7 hours today and he's still going. So I guess like for anybody who is thinking of doing this, if you're gonna use the crack filler, put it on thin. If there's anything we learned, put it on as thin as you can with still filling the crack. You put a lot of time into doing this, so you want to try and get it right the first time. But I'm gonna need a wheelchair.
Double strip of duct tape is what this calls for. Apparently painter's tape isn't thick enough for this. It'll just kind of go right underneath the painter's tape because it doesn't adhere to the concrete properly. Today we are finally on to the good stuff, which is honestly gonna be the easiest of all the jobs we've done so far. If that doesn't do it, I literally don't know what will. Oh, that was beautiful. So now, we just mix them up. Are we ready? I'm just gonna put this stuff on as thick, really as thick as I can, I guess.
Is it weird painting your floor?
The painting actually is the most natural thing we've done so far. Spraying your floor with a hose, that's the weird part. Oh, shit, that was hard. I feel like that's way too dense in the corner there, but now we have a very specific, that's where I learned area. I mean, obviously way too many chips there. This looks freaking cool.
It does look really cool.
This guy is standing up. This white guy is standing up. A couple of these ones are standing. Dude, the initial throw just sucked. I was about to give you guys a little edit, but we're literally not even there yet, dude. We have one more step before I can really like flex this and show this off to you guys. Dude, I'm literally in here in my socks. When we came back in, I was so worried it would still be kind of wet. I just feel terrified that I'm gonna step in a spot that's not dry. Nice. It says 8 to 10 hours before foot traffic, but then like a day before cars, but like it started raining too, so I didn't know if it was gonna be perfectly dry. Hella echoey in here right now, and dude, it's just, look at it. Like we're in here in socks, dude. Now this stuff dries actually extremely high gloss, and for a lot of people, this is it, you're done, final step, no more. Wait one day, pull your car in, and you're good to go. For me, since I'm gonna be using this like on a daily basis, I'm gonna put a little bit of extra effort into it. Tonight, we are hitting it with the clear coat. And I don't know if I showed you guys this or if I just meant to show you guys this, but this is the clear that we had originally. This is a textured clear coat, and it's also satin finish. So basically, I was worried when we got this that it would be too glossy, and me filming in here would kind of like, the reflection of everything would be too much, but let's be real, it looks really, really good. And after seeing it like this, I was like, okay, we can't put satin over this, it'll just destroy it. So instead of using this textured, it says it has like a powder coat finish, but you guys can see on the side, it literally shows it taking the glare right off the floor. Instead of using this, I ran out to the store, because you guys can get this stuff at like Canadian Tire, Home Depot, whatever, and I picked up the Extreme Gloss clear top coat, which basically is gonna protect, in my most important thing I think, is it's gonna protect these flakes. Because the flakes you throw down on top, and sure they sink in, but I just have a fear that when I'm rolling like a jack around, or I roll my engine hoist around, if it bites one of these and rips it up, it could actually cause like more of an issue than just pulling the flake out. It could start peeling. And on top of that, it's gonna go on and it's kind of like self-leveling. So it's gonna go over all the little rigid bumps of the flakes and make this extremely smooth, which will be slippery, but it'll be sick for cleanup. I went through 3 of the floor coatings, so I picked up 3 of these clear coatings. Basically the exact same thing as the floor coating. I just want to get this down, dude. This step isn't as fun because this already looks good. But I got everything prepped on a trailer outside underneath the tarps because it literally started raining. I just want to start, that way it can be done, that way I can put everything back inside. Oh yeah.
Because you can't see it?
I can't see anything, dude. I don't know what's happening. You can't see anything either, right? It's not just me.
No, yeah. I can see when you pour it. Like I can see.
I poured it right over top where I already went. This looks so much better than I could have imagined it looking. Like, dude, just picture me filming and look how much brighter it looks in here. I mean, the bottom of the wood got a little dirty from us washing it a lot, but we're about to solve that in about 10 seconds. Aside from that though, dude, it's just so bright. Like the light's actually reflecting off the ground now. It doesn't just get absorbed in. It used to just be like kind of dark and looked kind of wet in here and it wasn't nice. I did go pretty heavy in the flake like I told you guys, but I want that look. I do enjoy the flake look. I'm super pumped. I'm just extremely pleased with like the coloring and how everything went. It was extremely easy to do. There's a couple spots I'll show you guys that you guys will notice anyway, so I'm just gonna show you guys. This is where our huge split in the floor was. And obviously right over here, if you look real close, it was a little more sunken in than we had realized when we went ahead and did it. Now what's cool is it's flat right now. The epoxy actually went in there and filled this. If you guys look, there's no dimple. You can just see it through the clear. It will fill the crack, but you can still see it. It's a little bit of a weird situation, but I'm still super pleased. So like I've been hinting, the garage floors are done, but we are not done with transforming this garage. I figure while it's all kind of a mess, there's some things I've wanted to do, some things that I think will finishing touch this garage. So moving on from the floors, we have something that I actually said I would do like the day I bought this house. Boys, we found the freaking trim that they had in your elementary school. I swear to God, they have this stuff in every school. It's like a vinyl baseboard trim, and I can just put it on the wall and it'll protect the wall from any sort of spills, any sort of like raining, snowing. I can literally let it get wet like it was when we were washing the floor in here, but it won't sink into the wall anymore. It'll just build up against this trim. So check this out, dude. We got 100 feet, which should be way more than we need of this. I'm gonna just go ahead and call this school trim. It's vinyl and it's white and it just looks so good. So let's go ahead, start rolling this stuff out so that we can start assembling this garage. You literally can't say that this wasn't the icing on the cake. So we got the whole place done, a little spot there, corner, all the way around. Not only does it look super cool, but somehow from out here, it makes the garage look taller. Probably not on camera, but in person, oh. So the only thing left I want to do really before we start putting everything in the garage back is I want to get rid of this hard air line. I mean, it's cool because it has like the pulley guy right here, but at the same time, it just looks absolutely terrible. I want to move the cabinets over. It's kind of going to interfere with them, and the water trap hangs out over my tool bench like crazy. So I think I'm just going to put this over there with the compressor. There's plenty of hose to stretch around the garage. It'll clean up that, kind of make the garage look a little bit nicer. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. It looks a little funny right now because this guy's still hanging, but instantly looks way better. I just gotta go around, touch up a couple paint spots. No more blabbing. Today, I want this to be done when I go to bed. We got work to do. God. Insanely better than I thought. I didn't put the lift back, first thing you guys are gonna notice. I interrupt this video to tell you by the time it was edited, we got the lift in. It looks freaking cool because the blue flakes go with the lift. It just looks unreal. Just like, look how bright this is. It's like pitch black outside and look how bright this is in here. And the doors are open, which cover 2 of the lights up there. Like, this is nuts, dude. I can film in here now. Like, if we were to put the doors down, it would be so bright and so perfect for filming like all hours. It's just good. It's just so good. I'm so happy. And I feel cleaner inside of it. Obviously, I haven't made any messes yet, but I feel like it's nice to feel good. It's like when you clean your room or whatever. You feel better about it. And I feel like this is super nice. It's nice to feel like I'm in a clean and nice space. Here's what I can tell you. I left this wide open, basically from where the edge of the lift is straight to the toolbox, nothing here. You guys seen me pull out that bench before when I was putting an engine in the S10 and doing all kinds of stuff. I wheel that bench out of the way, which I left wheels on it on purpose to do that, but I figured I wanted to try this out and just give me the extra couple feet. And also I noticed I was always having 2 clutter piles. I'd have clutter on the bench that was over here and clutter that was on the bench over there. So I feel like sometimes less is more, and cutting down on bench space might help me not clutter so bad. I made this whole thing as if I only had like a 1-car garage, and that's like my bonus working bay kind of thing is what I'm trying to do. I actually flipped over the boards on top of this table. You can see that they have a little bit of like an aging mark, but I flipped them back over and I stained this side because this side was getting a little gross and oil spilly. So I put some clear stain on there. I'm gonna put another layer of clear stain on there and hope that it prevents anything bad from happening. I'm never gonna get over just how this looks in the background. It just looks so good, so clean and like professional, and I'm so happy we finally got to do this. So like I said, huge shout out to Rust-Oleum and all their products. I will leave links down below to everything I use. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys are super pumped. I'm just gonna end this video just like this. I'm just gonna let you guys look at it. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you're not already. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and stay committed.